Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiance Central, and I'm your host, Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So recently someone had left a comment on one of my videos asking me what to do as an adult when you have sweet, sort of sugary cravings. What do you do? You know, like how do you deal with that craving? And I love this question and this comment because when I read it, I was like, oh, I can relate to this. I can really relate to this. I would say since my daughter was born, pretty much the moment she was born, I developed a crazy, like, sweet craving. And I don't know if this is due to sort of postpartum and maybe also from not getting good sleep over the past year and a half and just running around doing so many different things that I developed a huge sweet tooth and wanting to have sweet things, like just always craving sweets. And so I've luckily earlier on I figured out a few things that really do work for me. And so I want to share that with you today. And it's two main things that really make a difference in sort of bringing down those cravings and even perhaps eliminating those cravings in general. So the first thing is I found that by increasing my carbohydrate consumption, decreased my craving for something sweet and sugary. Okay, because there is a difference between craving carbs and craving something super sweet, like craving like a candy bar, a cake. And I found that if I increased my carbs, and I'm talking about increasing whole grains and beans and legumes, it totally brought down my sweet cravings. Totally. And a lot of times I think people are always saying, well, you know, if you're craving something sweet, have some fruit or have some dried fruit, go in that direction. But I actually found that whenever I was craving something sweet and I'd be having fruit, it's like I can easily eat like 10 bananas in a sitting because I really want something sweet. And it really kind of didn't do it for me. But I found that the moment I would start increasing sort of the starchy carbohydrates in my diet, like having more whole grains or having beans and legumes or even just having sweet potato or white potato, the less I needed anything sweet. And I almost found that to be a better alternative than substituting a sweet craving with fruit. I found that if I started eating a lot of fruit, then I just wanted more and more fruit, and I'd want more and more sweet stuff, and I'd want honey, or I'd want maple syrup or things like that. And I found if I just moved towards getting sort of my sugars perhaps from starches, I would need less and I would feel more satisfied and less cravings. So it's kind of like instead of going and having 10 bananas because I'm craving something sweet, I can just go and have like half a cup of quinoa or oats or rice and I'd be fine. You know, and I'd mix that up with vegetables and a protein and all of that. And I found that like slowly but surely the sweet cravings went away, or at least went more balanced, that like I could, if I really wanted something sweet, I could have a piece of fruit and felt fine. But I did really make sure to be having carbohydrates, because a lot of times people are always cutting that stuff out, and then what ends up happening is their body starts craving sugar because they perhaps need more carbohydrates. They might need more fuel. And so for myself, I knew that I did need more fuel. And it was better for me to go in the direction of having like beans and legumes or some whole grains as opposed to just eating a crazy amount of fruit or having honey and maple syrup, which is just a simple sugar. It's not going to fill me up, and I'm going to just crave more and more food. So that for me really helped. And the second thing is exercise. Exercise is going to help to balance out your blood sugar. As much as people talk about eating proteins and fats with carbohydrates to balance out your blood sugar, I say one of the best things to do is exercise. Cardiovascular exercise and also strength training are going to bring down your blood sugar. They're going to balance things out. They're going to normalize things. And a lot of times we're craving something sweet, not only because we want to taste something sweet, but we want that extra energy and we want something to sort of comfort us. And I find with exercise is that it helps to eliminate and reduce tension and stress and clear our mind, take a break from what's going on, and just get some of that energy out. And I find that usually after having an intense workout, I'm no longer craving chocolate. I'm no longer craving cupcakes or things like that. Like, I'm not even thinking about that. I don't want that. But if I'm not exercising and I'm not moving around, then I start thinking about the cake and the donuts and all that kind of stuff. So I really do find it's that two things: increase the carbohydrates in your diet, but increase the healthy stuff, increase whole grains, beans and legumes, things like that, and see how that goes, plus exercise on top of it. And a lot of times too is that the two work really well together as well. By having maybe perhaps a little bit extra whole grains or beans and legumes in your diet, you'll have more energy to exercise and work out. And all that translates into just better health. So these are my suggestions. If you're having sweet cravings, go in that direction. Instead of substituting wanting something sweet and sugary with having honey or maple syrup or having dried fruit, things like that, substitute it with whole grains, things that have some fiber in it, and things that are a little bit more difficult to break down, and things that naturally have proteins in it, and minerals and vitamins and all the good stuff. Okay, so try that out and see how it goes. Let me know. All right, I'm wishing everyone a fabulous day, and I just want to mention too that the last 10-day juice fasting program, it begins Tuesday. It starts Tuesday, May 5th, and it's the last time we're doing a 10-day juice fast. I'm relaunching a new juice fasting program, hopefully in June, maybe July. We'll see how things go. But the next juice fasting program that I'm going to be launching, the new version, is going to be a much shorter version. So this is the last time I'm hosting and supporting a group doing a 10-day juice fast. So if you want to do a 10-day juice fast, join us. It starts Tuesday, May 5th, and 10 days you get. With the program, you get the guidelines as to how to do the fast. Beginner fasters are welcome, so are experienced fasters, and you do it as a group. There's a forum that we have that I'm on the forum every day answering questions and offering additional support. There's videos that walk you through the entire fast, so it keeps you motivated and keeps you on track and answers your questions. And it's a great program. It's a lot of fun, and everyone feels great after doing a fast. So if you want more information or you want to sign up, go to my website at radiantcentral.com, click on products, and you'll see 10-day juice fasting program there. Have a fabulous day, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.